Hello, here's my video of the Airfix kit, the R.A.F BE2c. Alright, here we go. Okay, let's discover what's in the box for the Royal Aircraft Factory BE2c. I recently tooled the last couple of years by Airfix, and a nice dramatic picture there of one blowing up a Zeppelin, because it's a World War I aircraft, and we had Zeppelins trying to bomb us in those days. Inside you got the usual decals, not decals, yeah, we had decals in here, there they are, look, there it is. You got different versions, some lighter blue than others. We see that in the colour callouts afterwards as well. Make sure we're in focus. So that's the decals, which are all standard Airfix ones these days, probably by Cartograph. They usually are these days. Same sort of interior. You've got classic, waiting that shot out, classic instructions. Starting inside, you've got a nice little arrangement there for the seats. It's a two-seat aircraft, and they're using a system so that the central struts are built into the body of the aircraft, so that goes in between the cockpits there, and then the parts which are already glued in place in red. And they provide a guide sort of piece which doesn't get glued on, but it's like a get the angle right for the struts. Airfix now often puts little blobs of plastic into it, and you get one version with rockets on as well in this one, like you on the struts. Excuse me. I like the tail area. Zoom back in now. Can I show it there? Yeah, it's a bit more focused. You've got like a nicely complicated tail area, which is quite small because it's quite a small kit. It's 172, and you've got a got a nice engine as well, which is not too bad, not too shabby considering it's covered over. You've got a nice engine there with a big tall exhausts that gets put together like that. You got two men with it, so you actually do get people with this. Sometimes people complain that there's no figures, but in this instance you do, because you can have them in on the ground as well as in the air, can't you, I suppose. Got a nice gun to mount there. I think he's got two options there, but I'll have a look in the kit now in a minute. And so yeah, usual thing. You got glass windshields for the pilots and the co-pilot or gunner, who's Batman or whatever it was in those days. And nice set of undercarriage, and there's a big four-bladed propeller. Now, and you've got a nice guide for where to do the rigging. Nice rigging guide with the modern Airfix kits. I've seen one of these in real life actually, but it was 50 years ago in R.A.F. St.5a, and I was very small, and I got a photograph of my brother, who wasn't much bigger than me, my older brother, and he sat standing in front of it. I won't show you that photo because he's on it, and he hasn't had permission for me to show it. But yeah, they seem awful big when you're awful small. Excuse me. That's the standard one on the photograph on the front of the model kit. Nice linen cream colour. And there's also the one with the rockets, which is in the later, or same time, green, which is the same as the pup I built colour. So yeah, instructions are basically the same as you'd expect. Now, the kit themselves, I haven't looked at the kit itself yet, but here we are. Let's cut it open with carefully with my sharp knife, not to prong myself. Opens up there. Try not to breathe deeply, don't know where. Fresh air from somewhere else in the world. There's the clear parts. That's how clear they are to see. Here's the clear parts. They're quite small, but I'm sure they're good. Back in focus. Right, nice dark grey sprue. Modern dark grey plastic from Airfix. These are the guide parts which aren't actually glued in. The main wings themselves seem quite nicely made. Plenty of detail. The fabric over the parts of the aircraft wing, and you see that's right, coming up nicely there. It's fairly in focus too, I think. Yeah. And yeah, struts. Here's the one gun. So I'm not sure if it's just posed differently or whether I think you got just a one gun. Have a quick look. Can't see any more than one gun. Here's a little man. We're probably the same little man who've been in kits for the last 50 years, but I don't think they're made anymore. Does that come in closer? No, I can't get in closer. I don't think they're any more modernly moulded than little men are on Airfix kits. But you've got the rockets, which are pre-moulded onto the struts, optional struts, with the rockets already on. They're that way up, aren't they? So that saves you trying to put them all together. So that saves a lot of glue messiness. Good idea. Got some nice seats there. They're not too bad. Wheels use the usual struts as you would expect. So yeah, I think the standard is quite good. There's enough distance from there's not much of a join with the sprue gate onto the part itself. There's no like overlap like you get sometimes. I think might need a little bit of trimming, but it's not going to be a problem, I don't think. The engine parts seem clear. So far I haven't seen much in the way of sprue, and with a sprue like this, you know, it's what I mean is sprue, a flash, that's the word I'm looking for. Been a while since I've done one of these videos, isn't it? Can't see any flash, and there are small thin parts to it, so it's ample time to get flash when this sort of moulding, but there's none there that I can see. Obviously use a magnifying glass when you're doing it yourself just to see if there's anything to cut off, but any sprue gates are out of the way of the part themselves. I can't see any sink marks or any other markings. There's nothing on the wings underneath to show that there's no release pin markings, you know, maybe sometimes get. But yeah, it looks fairly good quality. Don't know what that mark is. That's just a bit of grot, that is. You see that? A bit of black grot on that. Bit of black grot there, but that's nothing. Just some sort of a mark, production mark. So yeah, that's fine as far as I'm concerned. The plane itself is quite small. It's my finger for comparison. So it's quite a small aircraft, as you get to expect for those days. But big when you're small, like I said. There's 4-blade propeller. Nothing wrong with that, I can see. So yeah, as far as I can tell, that's going to be a good kit to assemble, and quite interesting as an unusual model. And there we are. So I look forward to making that. Thanks for watching, and cheerio.